Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing well. So this is Crystal Rose Guidance and I'm Holly, and this is going to be a pick a card about what's coming towards you. Now if you can't tell that this is a little bit different from what I normally do, there's a reason for that. There are 5 piles because I did run into some technical issues and I didn't want these messages to go to waste. So I decided to just combine them together and leave this here for y'all. I know it's also been a while since I put a reading out, so I wanted to really get something out for y'all. And I am working on some other things, and plus with these technical issues that I've had, it's just been pretty difficult. But I didn't want to leave y'all hanging any longer, so here we are. Please keep in mind that these are general readings, so not everything's going to fit to your story. Please don't try to force it to fit. If it doesn't fit for you, then that's fine. Maybe there's not a message here for you, or maybe you can find a message here at a later date. Also, remember you're in control of this reading. If it starts to become too triggering for you or uncomfortable in any ways, please click off. These are all meant to be helpful, definitely not hurtful. And I really appreciate you guys hanging in there, and thank you so much for being here. Please also remember to set your intentions. That's always very important, to set your intentions for whatever you need to hear for your highest good. And with all that being said, all the timestamps for all these piles will be down below, and I will see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1, so if you chose Healing Chaos, this will be your reading. Okay, so Healing Chaos. Real quick before we get started, if y'all hear crazy noises behind me, that is my cat hitting the door. She's got the zoomies and I don't know what she's doing. She's playing, so. So Healing Chaos, you see all these butterflies that are coming out of this. So there's some kind of chaotic moment, chaos, maybe a tower moment that you've experienced or went through, where there's this healing that's going to take place when it comes to whatever that chaotic moment was. We'll obviously get more into this, but I feel like for a lot of you, you may be kind of sitting in the aftermath or understanding the transformation that came out of this. You know, and that in itself is healing. Okay. You know, the tower moment is something that is always uncomfortable when it occurs, but it's always something that is needed. It's kind of like a catalytic moment or a spiritual interference in some kind of way, or not really interference. What do I say that? Spiritual intervention, you know. Okay, so we're going to use the Twin Flame Audio Oracles to get started. These kind of give us an overall mix of everything, so I thought these would be interesting to use. So what is coming towards you? Healing Chaos. What is coming towards you? What is coming towards pile 1? What is coming towards pile 1 at this time? What is coming towards pile 1? What is coming towards pile 1? We have outside interferences. She's a unicorn. Left in the cold. And battlefield. Bottom of the deck is the final dance. Okay. I feel as if you're fixing to have some kind of a final, finalizing a situation here, okay? This is like a final battle, I think, that you're fixing to face. It has to do with being left out in the cold, perhaps, in a situation, or feeling left out in the cold. Maybe you have had a scarcity mindset about whatever this is. This could have been something that was an emotional loss, or maybe even material loss was here. There was this energy here of battling it out. If this hasn't happened yet, this is what is coming towards you. Is this final dance, this final battle here. Outside interference with She's a Unicorn and left out in the cold. It feels like there may have been some kind of either other people or outside influences that affected how you were perceived in a situation or how you were valued in a situation. And maybe feeling left out in the cold because of that. Okay. So if that makes sense, if that feels relevant, could be part of your story here with what's coming towards you. Let's take a look in the tarot and see what we have. So I did not get your tarot deck. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm so sorry guys, but I finished a reading, personal reading, and then I went to clear out everything and cleanse everything, and I moved all my tarot that I had chose to do this reading and forgot about it. Forgot to put it back. Okay. Now, there's this feeling here of maybe you've been kind of forgotten, or you feel like you've been kind of forgotten. Okay. Fire and water here. Fire and water. So this is the Mystical Cat Tarot that we're going to use for y'all. Let's give it one more good shuffle. Okay. So tell me about what is this that's coming towards pile 1? What is coming towards pile 1 with healing chaos? It feels like something that's going to get more chaotic before it actually gets settled, if that makes sense. Okay, we're starting off with the Six of Wands in the reverse. Definitely that outside interference is something that had some kind of effect here. We have a Fire Queen, so that is the Queen of Wands. Then you have a Queen of Cups here in the reverse, Cancer, Sagittarius. You have some Nine of Fire. There's that defensiveness, something becoming difficult, and you have the Fool. So there is a feeling here of starting over, but it's not until it reaches a head. And you may have already experienced things, you've been healing from this, but it's coming back up. There's something that's resurfacing, okay? It's a final blow to it. We are still in snake energy, the snake year. As far as the zodiacs go, we don't start that new year technically until March, right? Aries energy. February, March, right? With that being said, there's still some things that you're releasing, final letting go of, and this feels like it's like the tornado. It like comes out of nowhere and then it leaves things, and you have to kind of leave things left to where they are. So give me some more information before we continue here. This is Aries, by the way, or Aquarius energy with the Fool. You have the Moon, Pisces, Cancer there with that Six of Wands in the reverse. There was a lot of influences that affected the situation, and outside influences that affected the situation. Maybe perhaps even listening to other people. There's someone that's recognizing this, that maybe they weren't following, like they weren't doing what they should have been doing, or they weren't following the proper guidance, or they were being affected by someone outside of them that didn't have the best of intentions. There's just like this recognition of not doing what's honorable, or not, why they weren't, like this is somebody that's saying, you know, fear could have been part of this as well. Things being an illusion, being afraid, things getting in the way as far as not knowing what to believe. All these kind of things that are here were some sort of an influence on this situation. Queen of Wands. Consequences. There you go. Queen of Wands can be that she's a unicorn energy, where this is someone that is hold on. Consequences is spit it out. Judgment. I couldn't get that out. Consequences is judgment. So facing someone. This is somebody here that's facing the other person. I mean, that's what this looks like. Facing the consequences of this other person. This is someone that is very assured of themselves and the position that they're in. Let's keep going. I need to understand this better. Tell me about this can be your energy, right? So you being in a place to where you're facing some kind of judgment of, and you feel very confident on this. Like this is going to make you feel like you're in control. Like you feel good about facing this judgment or making this decision. Whatever happened here has changed you and has changed you for the better as far as how assured of yourself you are. But it wasn't because of a lack of difficulty. This was very difficult. Why is the Queen of Cups here in reverse? The Tower. There's the Tower in the reverse. Scorpio energy. Cancer energy here with Queen of Cups. Scorpio here, Cancer, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Aries. The Tower being in reverse is that dust settling. What it has done is, this is to me being left out in the cold here. The consequences of not valuing someone or not valuing a situation has left someone else out in the cold. But there's a lot of illusions around that. So someone wasn't getting a clear perspective of what was really going on, or they're using this outside influence as an excuse of not being doing what they needed to do or be who they needed to be. So take that how it resonates, you know. So that Tower being in reverse with that Queen of Cups in reverse has made someone feel very, you know, cold, almost kind of like, almost like in a bitter way, like almost bitter, you know, to open up to anything else, especially like emotionally opening up to anything else. Tell me more. Why is that Nine of Fire here for what's coming towards them? The Four of Sea. Someone's not been able to really move past something. And it's been very, very difficult. Constantly thinking about something that has already passed, you know, a situation that's already passed on. That's what this looks like. It's like the Four of Cups is a very complacent kind of, like something is so difficult that, how do I explain this? It's something that you sit and you think about, you reminisce on, that is not good for you to sit and think about and reminisce. It's just really difficult for you to move on past. So this is somebody that's having a difficult time being able to move on past perhaps being left out in the cold by someone that or leaving someone out in the cold. You know, hold on. Why is the Queen of, or the cat, the Fool here? The Sky Kitty is here. So there's that message of a renewal, new beginning. Let's start over. Taking a risk, sending a message, taking a risk, starting over, taking a risk of having a conflict, you know, not being on the same page here with someone. But this is the final dance. This is the final all or nothing. Okay. So let's see if we can kind of make sense of this. Make sense of it. Tell me about this. What is going on here? What is coming towards? So healing from a chaotic situation is what we're looking at. But there's a problem here is that there's someone here that's very sure of themselves now from the transformation after the fact. And they're also very they're very held back emotionally guarded because of the Tower that occurred. But still having a hard time completely moving on from that. Wanting to, but having a difficult time doing it. So hard to let go of it, you know, whatever it is. Let's see. Can you narrow this down, please? Yeah, the hanged man, the hanged cat and the floating cat in reverse. Pisces energy. This is when you feel stuck on something, like your perspective of something, you're stuck on something, you have a really hard time seeing it any other way or moving on from it. You just feel stuck. Like, what do you do? The Three of Pentacles. That's working together on a commitment, working together to see my point of view or my perspective. So to me, this is someone that's wanting to work with you, to try to, it's funny too, because look at all these colors of cats. All of the colors that you see in the cats here are all the colors of this cat here, the Hanged Man. Let's work together to see each other's point of view or perspective in this situation. The Two of Wands, that's someone, that's being at a crossroads. Now, what are you going to do? So someone's opening the door, basically, I feel like, to this compromise or this is also, to me, like looking at a situation saying, you know what, we are not going to be on the same page, or we're not going to see each other's point of view, or we're not going to see each other's perspective. That Hanged Man energy, can I clarify that? Yeah, the Seven of Wands in the reverse. This is like, lay your wand down. Stop being defensive. Can you stop being so defensive? So we're not going to see eye to eye on something, you know, and that just happens. You just, sometimes you just do not see eye to eye. That's what compromise is. It's not seeing eye to eye on a specific specific situation. Good God, can't even say that now. I've never been able to say that. Let's just be honest. I have never been able to say that word correctly. Why is the Three of Pentacles here? The Fire Kitty. Okay. So you have the Sky Kitty and the Fire Kitty. The kitties are the pages. So the Fire Kitty is this message. This is a good, like, this is where things shift or turn in this energy, is a message of let's work together. Let's try to get to a certain place. Let's compromise and commit to working something out. The Two of Wands. So I do feel like for most of you, you're going to be the ones that are sitting in this position here of this opened door and needing to choose which route to take. Do I go this route or do I go this route? Do I stay committed to my perspective and where I sit with this, or do I compromise and work with this energy and move forward? You know, this is the Two of Wands here. It's basically like somebody wanting to, you know, for you to look at the future in a certain way, and you're having to decide, do I want to look at it in that way, or do I want to, you know, stay in this energy? Two of Wands. Yeah, the Nine of a Sea. So you have to think about really what you want here. But why is this difficult? Well, this is difficult because in this card you recognize too, for some of you, there's a lot of other things that take place here in this situation that become part of your awareness. It's not just about you. That's what it feels like. It's not just about what you want in this situation. That's why it's difficult. Okay. This is the Nine of Cups though, so it's about, you know, what will make you happy. And am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for them, or am I doing this for everybody else? Like, what would make me happy in this situation, or what would be the happiest thing to do here? And it's not just about happiness. It's just about, like, that feeling of that overall energy of feeling good about it. So what would make me feel good here about the choice that I make now moving forward? What does that look like? So being at a crossroads, that's what's coming towards you. It's the Seven of Cups. So being in that place again, making that choice and not knowing what to do with that. So you're going to have a tough decision to make on your hands. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so what is any advice that you can give me to help them when it comes to that? Yeah, 2 cards came out. Ooh. You got a King of Cups in reverse and the Sea Tom. That is the Knight of Cups in reverse. It's Tomcat. That Sea Tom, I laugh, guys, but that looks exactly like my cat George. I mean, that looks like George, like I can't, every single stripe on this cat in white spot is exactly like my cat George. The only thing different is he has green eyes, not yellow. Scorpio energy, did I say that? I think I did, I don't know. Don't fall into a fantasy is really, this is your advice here. And this may be something that's difficult because this may be something that you've done before or that you do easily. I have realized in my time here on this earth, which has been kind of brutal, I'm going to be honest. I've had a lot of great moments though. But I have realized that at a young age, I learned how to fall into a fantasy because reality was just so harsh. When I was little, I would look towards like movies, Disney movies and things like that of what love means, because my reality, what I was actually living in, what love represented, was just so harsh. And I had either this harsh energy to look at to what love is, or this whole other side of the spectrum of the fantasy of what love is. And you want to dream about, what love could be for you. So I always tend to be in that dreamy phase, which as I got older made it easier for me to fall into illusions, which made me vulnerable to be attracted to other individuals that were leading me to fall into illusions intentionally. So that's something that I had to learn. And that's kind of the advice in this is don't fall into the fantasy of what you want this to be, but try to be realistic of what it actually is. Any other advice around this? Yeah. Now you have the Knight of Wands, which to me is not only saying don't be quick to make a decision, but it's also saying don't give in to the temptation. Like, don't give in to the lustful side of this as well. Don't let it pull you into that, So what energy should they approach this decision with? Well, that is the demon cat, the devil in reverse. Stay away from what is toxic. It's telling you to stay away from obsessing about it, creating illusion or fantasy around whatever this is or could be. Don't obsess on it, pull yourself out of that toxicity. If you know that it's something that is not good for you, not good for especially your mental space, stay away from it. Capricorn energy there. Anything else you can tell me about that? Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Do things differently. Do not do things in the same way that you once did, change the pattern because your perspective has shifted and changed. So change the pattern. Don't do things the same way. Even if you were to fall into the same pattern or doing things the same way, I think if you've shifted your perspective, you'll immediately become aware that that's not where you want to be. So basically, don't waste your time knowing that something, when it's not good for you, it's not good for you, and period, it's not good for you. That doesn't mean that you have to be, that doesn't mean that you can't participate I don't know what this is exactly or who this is exactly. So that doesn't mean that you can't participate. For some of you, you have to be your best judge on that, okay? Because your situation's different for all of you. So some of you, this is a completely removing yourself from the situation. For others of you, this is I'm only going to participate in so much in the situation, and that's up to y'all. Y'all are the judge of your life and what you want to give to this. But the advice is don't repeat the same pattern that you once did. Do it differently. Definitely slow down in your thought process and stay out of the fantasy. Stay out of the illusion. Look at the realisticness of the situation and what it has to really offer you. Yeah. Anything else as far as advice goes on this? Yeah. The 9 of Swords in the reverse. Don't let this don't let this consume you, okay? Don't let this situation consume you. And this may be something that has happened here with this, is in your thought process. This has been something that's really taken over and really consumed you. Again, it's like that falling into that illusion or fantasy. Don't let that happen here. Just don't let it happen. Just don't. I would also say don't worry about this too much. Sometimes things can be a bigger deal to the other person, but if it's like I just had a funny vision in my head of a movie. I can't tell y'all what it is, but anyway, it's like you're fine about something, right? You're grounded about it. You're present. You're logical, and then someone else comes along, and they're like freaking out about something, or they're very emotional about it, or they're very a certain way about it, and you're like going, it's okay, you can calm down, and they're making you worried, and they're like, you need to think about this, you need to worry about this, you need to make a decision, you need to, and don't fall into someone else's emotions. Don't let them take you over and make you feel away or take them on. They're not yours to take, right? So be independent here in your thought process and about yourself. Don't let someone else make you feel a certain way that you're not feeling. Yeah. Don't let someone else get in your head about this, is what it's saying. Yeah, and now you have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I want to say, if someone's, especially here, if someone's pressuring you into something, then that's a red flag, And take a second and take a step back and slow things down, because if you do that, it will kind of tell you what you need to know about that situation or about that person. That Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it can be somebody that may be doing something for their own selfish reasons. So if you take a step back and slow it down, then you'll realize, you'll figure that out or realize that on your own. Also, don't let someone turn this around to make you feel selfish either for not making the choice that they want you to make. Okay? You are your own person, you have your own mind and your own values and your own morals and your own life. Okay. What do you need to be aware of about the situation that I haven't mentioned? What should you be aware of about the situation here that I haven't mentioned? The Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, what about that? Oh my goodness. All these knights being in reverse is making me nervous, because that's what this person's doing. I feel like if there's someone here, they're definitely trying to make you, rattle you, make you nervous. This feels like right when you heal from some kind of chaos is when this all occurs, and you're like going, no, I just healed from this. That This is like somebody that's in a panic. What should you be aware of this that I haven't mentioned? Yeah. The Two of Swords. Guys, this is becoming more clear the further I go. If someone comes to you in a panic, wanting you to make a decision, red flag. Huge red flag. There's something going on there with that Ten of Pentacles. Could be with this person's... If this is about you, it's saying don't make a quick decision or a final decision about your stability or your security because of a potential of something happening. Try to stay as grounded as you possibly can in this and give this some time. Don't be too quick to take action here on making a decision. Oh, did you see that? That was pretty cool. That's the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Ace with the 10 is a beginning of a new cycle, right? Ace of Wands in reverse is again telling me don't do something too quickly. But this is losing an opportunity. There's something. What is that about with this person? If there's someone here, what is this? You have the Stars and the Three of Cups. The Star and the Three of Cups is healing. Healing a situation. This is like somebody that doesn't want to lose an opportunity for some sort of... Something's going on. If this is someone you're dealing with, there's something else that's going on here with their stability, security. This could be financially. This could be physically. This could be a home, family, a foundation of some sort. Losing an opportunity or losing something around that is what is pushing this person to want to heal this connection here with you. So just be careful of this. Star and the Three of Cups is healing chaos, but healing in a chaotic situation and someone pushing you for that. There's a reason why. Why is the Knight of... Yeah. There's the Six of the Sea, Six of Cups. So this is someone that... I don't feel like this person is fully honest either about their intentions moving forward. So the Two of Sky and the Chariot in reverse, this is someone relying on you making a decision. And somehow, some way, this person is relying on your decision. They're like hopping a ride in your chariot there. You know what I mean? This is why this is telling you to give this some time. Don't repeat a cycle here with this. Because, again, I feel like time here is going to tell you a lot. You know? So, make this person wait, you know, and see what happens. Because they'll start to, you'll know like what their real intentions are by doing that. That's what I feel like. The Sun in reverse. Yeah, there's things here that they're not expressing, not fully saying to you. Yep. You have a Nine of Pentacles, not Four of... They're wanting you to reevaluate how they see you, who you are. There's a lot of blame on outside outside influences here as well. The King of Wands in reverse, Leo energy here with the Sun as well. This would be like somebody that is trying to... Again, there is a reason why this person is in a hurry and pushy. And it's a red flag and you know it. And don't repeat the same pattern. There's something this person's like wanting... This may be a repetitive pattern. This may not be with the same person. For some of you, this could be a pattern that you're seeing with someone else that you've been with, that you recognize as something you experienced with someone in your past. So worth the fight. And spiritual death here with Rising Star. Not giving up easily, wanting to conquer, fighting for you, and the Final Dance. So this is somebody that's gonna like be in this persistent energy, okay? Let's see if we can get some honesty out of this person. Okay. This would be somebody coming in like, let's heal the chaos, and you're like, there's a tornado, and they're like, well, let's just figure this out, and you're like, but there's a tornado. we can't do it in the tornado. You know, like the butterflies. We can't fly over there. They will get destroyed. Don't get caught up in this other person's storm is kind of what it's telling you here. Which may have been something that you've done in the past. What would this person say if there's someone here? Runner. I don't want to run anymore. Holding back. I should have expressed myself better. Self-love. I'm still trying to heal. I just saw... Okay, we'll take it. Unsatisfied. I wasn't happy with the way things were going. Understanding. I see your side of the story. Unappreciated. Look at that. Un. That's this here. I felt like you didn't care. You did something here for yourself in some way, shape, or form that to this person may have felt like you didn't care, but you were just kind of doing what you needed to do for yourself. Secrets is at the bottom, which is the second time I've seen that. I haven't told you everything. And damage. We're both hurting from this. This is like definitely someone that's keeping some things to themselves. You should know that for sure. They're not going to tell you everything here. This does feel like someone, but for some of you, this may be a new situation with this person or someone from your past. But there's definitely this energies here. Okay, what is coming towards you? Well, healing chaos, but you're going to have to... Let's get some advice. I don't even know where to go with this. I'm kind of just baffled, to be honest with you. Let's see. We'll try to use these. This could be somebody that maybe ran away when things got hard, or they didn't like the way that things were going, so they took off, you know, and this is going to be hard because I feel like this person may come across as, or the situation is going to come across as being what you want, or what you wanted to hear or to see or feel or whatever, but there's a lot of things that are taking place here that aren't being expressed. And this person's, again, their urgency is a red flag, okay? That's how you'll know who this is. Someone pushing you to make a decision about something. That's the bottom line. You're going to have to make a decision. Someone's going to be pushy about you making that decision. And this is telling you to give it some time. To don't do something too quickly. Difficulties. Jealousies from others may serve as obstacles in the success of this connection. You are enough. The person that you're meant to be with will make you feel loved the way that you are. You don't need to change. Especially if this is someone that says, you were this, you were that, you were this, you were that, you know. Law of attraction. You have been manifesting this relationship. Everything you want will soon be yours. For some of you, you've been wanting to see another perspective or hoping for another perspective. But it's funny, like, this is going to give you what you need. Whatever that is. I just feel like this situation is going to give you what you need to maybe close this out for a lot of you. Look, actions speak louder than words. I said that. If you want to know what someone's really feeling, watch what they're doing. Love your shadow. accept and work with the flaws in yourself so that you can learn to accept others as they are. And that's kind of what I was saying with my story about the illusion. You know, we want to see the best in people, don't we? Like, we want to see like someone, and we may still love someone, we may still care about them, but we may also know that that person is not good for us at the same time. And both things can be right. You can love someone and they'll not be right or a good person. Those both can be true. And you can look at that person and say they have a lot of healing to do, or they have a lot of work they need to look at themselves. And I can't be a part of their life, or I can't be a part of a relationship with them, because if they can't work on themselves or look at themselves, or they're just not in a good position, they're only going to, you know, affect me in a negative way. I have to look out for myself here. And, you know, doesn't mean you don't care about that person. It just means you also care about yourself, and you can't fix anyone, you know? Okay. Especially if they're not willing to fix themselves. Overall advice for pile 1. It's very aggressive. Good card for y'all. You have number 10. Don't settle for less. You are a child of the divine, and you deserve to have your dreams come true. Don't give up. AM may be important to somebody. Alright, let's get some initials and some charms to close. Okay, you have the this is like rose quartz that broke off the end of it, but you see it's all wrapped up. So this is kind of like protect your heart, protect your emotions here. Don't let someone else make you feel like your emotions don't matter, or that you take advantage of your vulnerability, you know. Feeling good like I should. Be a nice human. Life's what you make it. We have the V, can be for victory or whatever you'd like. We have the sail ship, so you may be going your separate ways here. You're in the same boat. You may be getting on the same page in a way, but still going your separate way, you know. But this reminds me of the Six of Swords, which is moving to calmer waters. You have the black cat with the new moon here, so listen to your intuition when it comes to this new cycle. You have 2 Z's, an H, and a K. And that's it. Alright, I'm going to hold this up so y'all can see it. Don't forget you have a V there too, so. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I hope this helps. Good luck, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. So if you chose number 19, letting go of urgency, surrender freedom from time restraints. So one of the things I want to say, I want to point out, so I'm going to point out some times here on these clocks. And there's some dates here as well. November is on the calendar in the background. You also have July 17th here that's on the tree. You also have, well, there's a bunch of things. We have 12 o'clock. We have 2:30. Well, we'll just say 2:30. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm totally not going to read all these times. Let's just say that there is a lot going on here. On the ground, I want to say the clock on the calendar down here says November as well. Letting go of the urgency. Okay, so I have to point out the number 19 is actually the sun in tarot, so Leo energy could be relevant here. July could be also a part of that as well, because of July 17th being on the tree. The tree is symbol for longevity. It's a symbol for, you know, roots, something growing, something that you've spent a lot of time on consistently, but feeling that urgency. So I feel like for some of you, you may be like, this is a very green door, you know, so he's walking through that door, recognizing the fact of he's getting the go-ahead to kind of let go of all this time restraints or restrictions that he's putting on himself. surrender, freedom from time restraints. So there's something to do with maybe you're going to, what you don't see coming is maybe a situation to where you can kind of release some kind of urgency that you feel at this time, maybe some kind of relief. This could be a financial relief, perhaps. We are very close to tax season, correct? So with the time and everything going on here, but there could be something to do with like releasing some kind of a weight that you're carrying, some sort of burden perhaps that you're carrying when it comes to a time restriction, a deadline, something to that nature. With the 19, in that being the sun, I do feel like this is something that's going to make you feel a lot better. I feel like this is something that's going to maybe not only make you feel better, but also make like the whole situation, make you feel like you can kind of more so relax. So I am feeling like for some of you, this has something to do with a relief of some sort that helps you to be able to kind of surrender and gives you freedom, a little bit more freedom. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to get a few oracle cards. I'm not going to get a whole lot of oracles because I really want to get into the tarot. So yeah, redemption is here. Hope, turning point, and gossip there. Miracle, turning point, speculation. You may have been worried about a situation, like worried what's going to happen with the situation, or worried if something's not going to work out for you, or something to that nature. And I want to say this is part of, whatever it is that you've been hoping for. I feel like that there's some kind of blockage that is being removed. So whatever you've been hoping for here, I do feel like you're going to get that sense of relief. Okay. I think for some of y'all, you may have been really worried too about a particular date, like a deadline or a particular time, or calculating how much time you have. Something like that is there. Okay, this is the answer oracles that we're going to use to get started. So tell me what pile 1 does not see coming. What do they not see coming for pile 1? Letting go of urgency. What do they not see coming? We're starting with guard. Defend, protect, and guarantee. We have dating here. Connections, romance, and love. We have process, journey. Growth, path, experiences, and empty. Clean, purify, empty, and practice. We also have countryside here. So countryside with that idea of harvest, that idea of irrigation, it's kind of like the tree that I was talking about here. There's something to do with longevity here and that being a process. There's something also about a connection perhaps, or with this idea of protecting something that's important to you, some kind of connection, some sort of, well, okay, so let's just say with this relief comes this understanding of how you can protect, or something that gives some kind of protection over something that's very important to you. Either you have time for that, or you have more time to address something here that's important to you. But this is all a part of your growth. It's a part of a process. It's a higher understanding that you're having when it comes to cleansing unnecessary commitments, cleansing from unnecessary urgencies, and also the value and importance. So what is most valuable? What is most important to you in this situation? With countryside, this also says rent. So for some of y'all, there's a lesson that you learned here. And it's almost kind of like, I feel like for some of y'all, you're getting some sort of clean slate, or some sort of opportunity to start again, or to start over. Especially with this letting go of urgency. Like, there's not a time restriction around this. Maybe there once was. But now that you have whatever it is that you need, or even if that's just an understanding or something tangible, you're able to use that to protect or guarantee growth or process here. And so you're starting again. Let's just say, for instance, if this was a connection, or a contract of some sort. This could be like, okay, now I'm letting go of the urgency. I don't have that weight on this. I have what I need so that I can really protect this connection, or I can really defend or guarantee this contract here. And I have this is a process or growth that's going to take place because of what has occurred, so that we can cleanse the situation and start again and really kind of grow from this. This whole idea of countryside to me is more so about growing from this situation. So this really feels like some sort of relief that's coming in, that is giving you what you need in order to reconnect, or in order for you to guarantee some sort of understanding, contract, commitment, so that you can proceed forward and really like purify yourself, or start again, or cleanse, or start back from square one, you know, in a good way. Okay. Growth is all over this reading. So let's see if we can get better detail of what this is about. So this is the Paul's Tarot, which I love. Y'all know I love the Paul's Tarot. It's just fun. That's why I like it. Okay. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Tell me about pile 1 and what this is pertaining to when it comes to what they don't see coming. There's also a note here about proving some kind of loyalty, or proving loyalty in some way. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. That's that card of freedom. So I do feel like for some of y'all this has something to do with a financial restraint, perhaps. Not having to defend something, or getting some kind of relief in that area. We have the Ace of Swords. So coming clean, being honest, having a conversation. King of Wands in the reverse, a process. So this is showing someone something. So this is like, let me prove this something to you. Let me show you this. That can mean something else, but I'll come back to it if it comes up. Yeah, and the Two of Wands is clearing the way and choosing a path and starting again. And it's interesting that you have this road here, this concrete foundation where he's standing. It's very similar to the concrete foundation that they're walking on here. It's like walking a path to righteousness. So what I mean by that is like it's getting that opportunity to start again and to plan for the future. So there's this like, okay, now we have this type of now we can start again. Now we have this abundance to start from, or now we have this foundation to start from. And let's start planning here what we're going to do here for the future. Okay. What is that 4 of Pentacles in reverse? Yeah, the Ten of Swords. So there was something that was going on here. Either you or someone was very afraid of happening. This could have already happened. The Ten of Swords, there was some kind of like fear of a painful ending, a betrayal, an ending of a contract, or something that was going to hurt, right? Or something that was going to be detrimental in some way. There was some kind of fear around this, and this is what you're getting freedom from. Freedom from having to worry about that, something coming to a painful end in some kind of way. So whatever that burden is, there was someone carrying a burden or a weight of being afraid of the Ten of Swords. And the freedom is coming from that. So now you have this guarantee, protection, or guard that it's not going to go in this way. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not going to go in that Ten of Swords. You're breaking yourself free from that altogether. So that Ace of Swords, okay, coming clean. Let's have this conversation. Let's start again. Let's be honest. Yeah, the Hanged Man. So if this has to do with a connection or contract, This is like, okay, let's be upfront, open, and honest here with this Hangman energy of the perspective that I have now. So this is basically, to me, it's kind of like, hey, let's lay all of our cards out on the table and see what we're looking at. You know, so in a relationship, that would be like, what do you want? What do I want? Are we on the same page? In a contract, it would be the same thing. Does this contract, let's sit with this and see if this really is what I want. You know, let's be honest here, or let's be very like truthful here when it comes to the situation. Okay. So what you're getting also is a different perspective of how you can also move forward. Why is that King of Wands in the reverse with process? Yeah, the Seven of Swords. I do feel like for some of you, this has something to do with coming clean or overcoming some sort of someone getting away with something. Like there was something going on here. And this could have been you with this urgency, having to be strategic around a situation, being afraid of not having what you need or something like that going on. This feels like someone... This feels like someone perhaps maybe doing something underhanded or... Give me one more, because I need some help here trying to explain what I feel. Yeah, Knight of Cups. This can be like an apology around this. This is growth here. So someone, or this could be you, that is now seeing a situation, or maybe how you reacted or how you handled something, or what direction that you went into, or how you went into a direction. You're looking at it and you're saying, okay, I can grow from this. I did something a way that I shouldn't have done, or someone did something a way that they shouldn't have done, and they see it now, they can grow from it. There's an apologetic energy around this. But I have to be honest, the energy feels kind of like someone kind of, God, what's the way that I'm trying to explain this? It's hard to understand. It's kind of like someone created some sort of romanticism, okay, around a situation. And there's this idea of changing the direction of that, or coming clean about that when it comes to that experience. Yeah. Does that make sense? The Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah. This may have had to do with like an outside party situation, third party situation, something like that. This can be like someone that kind of went outside of a contract or went outside of a connection, and under like false pretenses. It's that kind of a feeling to it. Either they did that, you did that, someone did that, okay? But there's a growth from that. Like I've grown from that experience, right? Come on. Oh, not you. Sorry guys, I thought George was at my door. It was actually my dog. Okay, so the Two of Wands with empty. Two of Wands with empty here. This is about moving forward and making plans. The Three of Wands in reverse. This is basically like wanting to move forward, wanting to make plans to move forward, but not knowing what to expect. Not having... This is like what you want to do, but you don't know what to expect here. Or you don't have expectations. This is not putting any kind of expectation on the plan that you're making moving forward. That's interesting. The Sun. This has to do with the time restraints here. This feels like an energy of like seeing how something goes. If this has to do with their connection, because of that Three of Cups now with that dating and connections, this looks like not knowing if something will make you satisfied, or not knowing if you'll be satisfied with something or not. Not knowing if something's going to bring happiness or not. So it's like looking at the future, wanting to start over, having the opportunity to cleanse or have a clean slate, but you don't have any kind of high expectations, or you're not putting any kind of expectations out there because you don't know if this is something that's going to make you happy or not. This is about cultivating and what you want to cultivate moving forward. That's what this feels like. This is learning from an experience, the truth here, and seeing, getting on the same page, or seeing an idea or perspective, having clear understanding, and the weight of the financial responsibility or the urgency when it comes to time here, or restraints, is being released or let go. But there's no, like, there's a direction about moving forward, but there's no clear path about what that's going to look like. Yeah. So you don't really know what to expect now moving forward. And you don't know, you just don't know. But you're still on that journey. Interesting. What was the Ten of Swords? I'm asking because you have 3 cups here on the bar, and there's 3 cups here. So what was the Ten of Swords? The World. For some of you, there may have been an ending here. I feel like this has more so to do with a closure, or a chapter closing out. With the World, that's what it represents. It's the last of the major arcana. It shows like a closing out of a lesson, a closing out of a chapter, a closure. And you know, with the World, there's going to be a new beginning, obviously. With closing one thing out, there's going to be a new beginning. And there's this understanding here that, okay, I have clear evidence or truth or understanding, communication, whatever this Ace of Swords is, where I've gained this different perspective, and now I'm trying to process everything that I've gained, or everything that I now know, so that I can move forward. But I don't have any expectations, because I don't know what would make me happy. I don't have any expectations because I don't know how things are going to move forward or go. Page of Wands in the reverse. It's not exactly what you wanted to hear, or it's not exactly what you wanted in some way. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. It's not I think that you may have been hoping for something more grounded, or something more like, I think that you maybe felt like you would feel more stable, but I think that you're more so feeling like, I don't really know exactly how I feel about it. And you remember I talked about loyalty here? So there may be someone here that you still are unsure if you can really trust this person, or if this person is really loyal to you. Yeah, so you're not putting any kind of expectation here on anything. Okay, so what's going to happen here moving forward from this? Ooh, a Tower moment's coming. What does that consist of? The Three of Pentacles in reverse. Tell me more about that. The Hierophant. What is the Tower? Scorpio energy, Taurus here. You also have that Pisces, Leo, Taurus, Leo, Justice. So this feels like an aha moment, but this also feels like this feels like divine intervention. That's what that feels like. Some kind of Tower moment. This is a realization of some sort. This could be like karma. I mean, obviously, for me, Justice looks like karma balancing out. So either you're aware of this Tower moment, or this is something that's happening or going to happen. But it depends. Timeline's different for everybody. So either you've already, like, this is something you're becoming aware of. That's the karma's, either way, something kind of Tower moment or aha moment or something you didn't know that you're becoming aware of is balancing the situation out. So karma's being balanced here. Why is the Three of Pentacles in the reverse? The Three of Swords in reverse. That can be forgiveness and moving forward for a lack of loyalty or being able to work together here, or stepping outside of some sort of commitment or contract. There's some kind of forgiveness and or moving on from that. Why is the Hierophant here? The Hierophant is a commitment. It's also a higher lesson. The Moon in reverse. So with what is being revealed, Pisces, Cancer, Libra there, with what is being revealed from that moon is a higher understanding or a commitment. This feels like karma balancing out, and some sort of forgiveness and commitment taking place with whatever's being shown. You know, the moon, and you do have the sun here, so that's divine feminine masculine energy, but the moon is basically in reverse. It's like being able to see all the shadows of what's in front of you and having that clear understanding of what everything is. It's no longer being in an illusion around a situation, coming out of the illusion, coming out of the unknown. Can you give me another card for that? The Hermit. I think you're going to go into hermit mode. I think this feels like you going into some sort of hermit mode, which means trying to understand the higher purpose. That's what I feel. Now with this information that you have, or that you're going to have, this is like after a Tower moment, which is whatever this Tower moment was for y'all, and you see justice here, you get justice here out of this Tower, then there's this forgiveness here that takes place, or this understanding of being able to move forward, move on. And then there's this going into a hermit energy to try to search for the deeper, higher understanding of what has been, you know, or what is. What's the higher purpose behind all of it? What about after this hermit energy? Virgo's there. The Four of Wands. That's a foundation. It can be a marriage, coming together, a union, celebration. This looks like a reunion or a union or a foundation being rebuilt after a tower. Karma balancing out. The Ten of Wands is at the bottom with the Devil in reverse. It's funny because I talked about in the beginning there being a, yeah, and look, even he is sitting at those lights. Is it red, green, or yellow? And you're walking through a green door here. You're not in any hurry, I can tell you that. And for some of you, there's some kind of like, either it's a time restraint or a financial restraint that is being released or let go of to give you the opportunity to kind of go into that hermit mode with now what you know. But there is unclearness, and I think that's part of the letting go of the urgency, is not knowing what to expect. There may be even somewhat of, I think this has to do with like you don't know quite sure if something is right for you or something is meant for you or going to make you happy or if what you need. There's some uncertainty here when it comes to planning that future energy. And I think that's part of the lack of urgency that's there. So with the Ten of Wands is like you're carrying all these wands here in your bag and trying to figure out what you should do about it. And the Devil here, Capricorn energy, this is releasing the weight that you've been carrying. So seeing something as at some point was a burden here. And now in this process, what you're doing here, and like what I mentioned in the beginning, is you're releasing the weight that you've been carrying. And that's something due to this clarity, due to this sense of breaking free or this closure ending, and this karma balancing out. And that does require you to go into hermit mode, because that requires you to go into that deep thought process of, okay, you've accumulated, or now you know all this information, or now you have what you need, or now you don't have you don't feel that urgency anymore. So you kind of go into that thought process of, okay, now with what I know and what I've learned and where I'm at, I have the opportunity to kind of sit with this, and I can relax a little bit. I'm not in any kind of urgent, need to take urgent action of any kind. And I can process what I'm experienced and process where I'm at and decide from there. So it's going into doing some deep soul searching. Okay, so with that being said, let's get some advice. I hope that makes sense. This took me some time to kind of work through this. Thank y'all for letting me kind of work through that, because there was some, I do feel like that this just feels very different for everybody. You know, what this could be, what this means. But I can say to have Justice and the Four of Wands, as far as the future energies go out on the table, that's always a good thing, especially Hierophant being upright as well. That's what's leading to a solid, happy foundation, right? Something to celebrate. In the end, you will have something to celebrate. That's the point here in this. What advice do you have for pile 1? You're rising, your vibration, what in the world? Your vibration is rising, number 43. This is a time of great spiritual growth for you. Yeah, that's what this is here. This Hierophant and this Hermit coming out of what you used to not know, now seeing the truth or seeing the clarity or seeing having an understanding or growing and processing it and seeing the higher reason, you know, higher understanding of everything. This is a time for great spiritual growth for you. You're evolving to occupy a higher energetic frequency. So I think that y'all will be moving towards a relief. I mean, I feel like something that you've been holding on to here is what you're able to kind of finally let go of. Yeah, some sort of hardship. Some sort of hard understanding. For some of y'all, this could even be like grief. For the process of grief and letting go. I think ultimately what you're falling into is an energy of acceptance. Let's see what this is. The Wild Offering Oracles here. Yeah, companionship. This has something to do with an understanding when it comes to a partnership, contract, companion, something like that. When you fully bless and embrace your aloneness, you're ready for the ones who are meant to be with you. May I welcome this solitude, knowing that it will open the way for all healthy relationships. That's kind of like, for some of y'all, this has to do with understanding that when you are, this is a hard thing to understand, and I feel like it only comes at a time when you are completely let go of the need, because this is when you ultimately find that, happiness or love within yourself. And that does come with acceptance, of course. But when you get into that place where you don't have that urgency or that need to connect, and you fall back into that, your own aloneness, and you know that when you're ready for something, it will come together. When someone's ready for you, you're ready for them, or when you're ready for something, it will come together in a healthy way, and you don't have that urgency for it. Let's get one more, because not all of y'all, that's not the situation, but can I have one more, please? Truth. When everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to be silent. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear Lord. Take me over and speak through me. All right. Okay, I'm going to get one more, and then we're going to get some initials to close. So I want to get an inner child healing oracle. This could be something that you're needing to see or work on. For pile 1, what is it? Actually, y'all got 2. So I'm going to read them both, but that one just flew way out. Quick. Number 9, connect to eternity within. Let yourself be held by love. There's an emphasis here on loving yourself, and being comfortable, perhaps even being alone, for some of you. Okay. 21, let go of the past. It's time to envision a new story. Yeah. I think, and I have a hard time with this as well, but I think a lot of times we use our past as who we are, like to represent who we are, what we've been through, what we've experienced. But at some point, you have to be able to let go of that experience and just take the lesson of what you've learned from it and be able to open the door and move forward. So you're not, that would be like carrying your past self with you, and we wouldn't do that. We're not the same person as we were a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, hopefully, if we're growing and learning. And that's just kind of like another representation of that, is to let go of the past. It's time to envision a new story for yourself and what that looks like. Yeah. Not carrying the weight of the story that you've been through, and not allowing it to be who you are, but just something that you learned from and then move forward. There's definitely an overall feeling of acceptance here. The need to accept and move forward. Okay. So we have the cactus. So the cactus, this always makes me feel like a boundaries. So remember, your boundaries. As you're kind of going through this or healing or working something out here, it's like maintain your boundaries and where you feel vulnerable, protect that. Work hard, dream big. Just let me adore you. And stress less and smile more. Okay, so we have U, A, W or M. We have both, I guess. N, D, R. We have dream in the bowl, and you do have work hard, dream big. We have C and Q. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave you right here. Hopefully this helps. Good luck to you with this. I'm wishing you so much love, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. If you chose number 12, and we have elements here. Nature spirits, the 4 elements. So the elements, of course, are earth, water, air, and fire. So with the number 12, let's start here. We're talking about what you don't see coming. 12 is actually hanged man energy in tarot, so that Pisces energy is there. It's about, well, can be about a lot of different things, but it's about being able to see a perspective that you haven't seen before, and how difficult that can be at times when you are having to see another side to things, or having to see another perspective to something. And the elements, for some reason, it's almost like the natural understanding of something. So I don't know what exactly this has to do with yet. We'll see when we get into the cards. But this feels like, with what you don't see coming, it's like having a natural understanding of what is, or how things are, and that being something that is almost like irreversible, or something that is where you're able to kind of ground yourself in. It's just like having a natural understanding of it is what it is, or this is how things are. That's here. Okay, so let's see what this has to do with. What is coming, what you don't see coming. We're going to start with the answer oracles. Let's give these some shuffles real quick, and then we'll get into the tarot. Okay, so pile 2. What do they not see coming with elements? It's almost like the perfect storm. Something I just heard there. Perfect storm. Tell me about this with the elements. What does this have to do with? Tell me about this when it comes to the elements. What does pile 2 not see coming? What does pile 2 not see coming? We have book. Look at that. All these ivies and nature. This grounded energy. It says wisdom, experience, immortality, and authority. We have dream. More nature. Desire, omen, nightmare, and fantasy. We have flirt. Seduce, lover, and lust. And we have gratitude, appreciate, thankful, and cherish. At the bottom of the deck, we have evolution. Transformation, reverent, and new beginnings. I say reverent, reinvent, and new beginnings. Reinvent. Reverent. I wonder why I said that. Well, one thing is I just can't read very well, but I always pay attention to everything that I say, even by accident, you know. Reverent. The relevance of something. That's what I was thinking, and when I said that word, that's what I was thinking. There's something to do with like the having like the relevance of something, like what something really means to you, and seeing a different perspective of that. With book, obviously, what you don't see coming, I feel like you're going to get some kind of information, and this has to do with some sort of desire perhaps that you have. This could be with someone. So I hate to go straight to love, right? Because some of you, I don't feel like that's exactly what this is. This flirt could also just be something that you really want, like maybe you're kind of lusting towards or lusting over. But for some of you, I think this does have to do with love, okay? I think that there's someone here that, I feel like there may be someone here that even wants some kind of new beginning with you. They're wanting to offer you something. This is the information that you're going to be receiving is, an understanding of what someone wants, perhaps, with you or from you. But for others of you, I feel like there's something here that you're desiring, that you're kind of lusting over, that could be a dream that you have, that you're wanting to move towards that next step there when it comes to that with transformation and reinvent. It's like evolving. It's like there's this idea of wanting to go towards something that you feel very, it's kind of like an offer that you feel very grateful for, or that's something that you want to cherish, you can see a future with. So you see how that could turn into perhaps love, or perhaps some sort of dream that you just have. Okay, so it's basically you're coming into an understanding. You're seeing something in the way of everything working together, like the elements, or something being the way that it's going, or the way that it is, or the way that it has to be. But you're going towards like some sort of dream that you have, and or desire that you have, or someone has. And you're wanting to cherish whatever this is. This is the new beginning, okay? Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get the tarot. So if that made sense, I know that was kind of vague, of course. We'll get more detail, obviously, when we get the tarot, to see what exactly this is about. But I do feel like it can look a little different for everybody. We have a Queen of Swords and a King of Pentacles here. It's interesting. So, with that being said, I do feel like perhaps there's two parties here, but you have the Three of Swords and the Sun. That's about disappointment, being disappointed in something. So either you could be disappointing someone, or someone could be disappointing you. Let's see. Tell me more. What does this have to do with? What does pile 2 not see coming when it comes to book with this information? What is this about? It's kind of sloppy. What is this information here about with the book they don't see coming? 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. See the ivies and the ivies? It's like a lack of growth, or lack of expansion, a lack of long term, not being able to see the long term. Tell me about dream. Justice. I'm going to move these up just a little bit because I feel like they're way too far down. Okay. Sorry about that. We have Libra energy there with Justice. This feels like thank you, but no thank you. I mean, honestly, this feels like thank you, but no thank you. Interesting. Tell me more. What is the flirt here? The Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is someone coming in with some sort of offer, offering you something. It's a very slow moving energy. I wouldn't say thank you, but no thank you. Exactly. Okay, hold on. Let me get the rest of the cards to tell you what I'm kind of feeling here. Yeah, 9 of Wands in reverse. This is growing tired of a situation. Okay, what is the 7 of Pentacles? Yeah, Knight of Cups. This is not being able to see something in the long term. This would be like somebody coming towards you in a romantic way, right? Or this could be you like romanticizing a situation or something here, an experience or something that you're wanting. but not knowing how, not there being a lack of reward there, not knowing how to bring something fully together, right? Or not seeing the long term there. Justice with dream. There's that King of Pentacles. I think somebody's bringing you a desire, a wish that they have. Or this is you, right? And this is wanting to justify a desire or wish. I have this dream that I want to play out, you know. This is like somebody expressing the truth of what they want. Your dream here would be to become abundant, become prosperous with what you want, becoming a particular type of person. Okay, so if it didn't have to pertain to love, this is just stating, you know, what it is that you want, but is that realistic? Will it work? Why is the Knight of Pentacles here? I'll bring this all back together when I get all the cards out into the two scenarios that I feel. Now you have a Page of Wands. I don't feel like this is the same energy, though. Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. This is freedom in a way. This is interest in freedom and slow moving energy, right? This can be about exploring the opportunity for the romantic side of things, or slowly getting to a certain point. This is like dipping your toes into something. That's what that feels like. Whether that's an opportunity for something new in your life, or that's an opportunity for a relationship, this is like taking it very slow and dipping your toes into something. Okay, so why is that Nine of Wands in reverse? There's motives in this that are being questionable. This is making you question. Okay. Or maybe this is something that you're just kind of tired of. Sun in reverse. Leo energy. You also have some Capricorn, Libra. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. Leo energy is very fun. It's very exciting. It's very fiery and lustful, and then, you know, this kind of just like playful, very, you know, flirtatious kind of energy. Capricorn is quite the opposite of that. That's someone that's very grounded and centered and focused and diligent and no play. You know, no, not that they're not fun, but there's just like no play around. Let's get the work done kind of feeling. And Libra is also, okay, you need to balance the scales out in that. So it makes me feel like what's going on here as far as this evolution, this thing transforming, is trying to figure out where you sit with that. So the Sun is in reverse, which we saw earlier with the Three of Swords, with this appreciation, thank you, and cherish. I feel like this is not being happy with. I feel like somebody's not happy with that, with the way that you respond to something, or how you're responding to a situation. Or you're not happy with how something's turning out. There's very much so like thank you next energy here. Okay, that's what I'm feeling. Whether that has to do with a romantic kind of relationship, either you're giving that impression to somebody, or you're getting it, or this has to do with a project or a opportunity of some sort where you feel like it's not going to lead to anywhere. Or it's not what you wanted it to be. It's not going to, you kind of putting it back on the shelf kind of feeling. You're thinking about it kind of negatively, too. This is interesting. Yeah, look at that. Three of Swords is at the bottom of the deck again. With the Four of Swords. That's good. With the Queen of Swords. the Queen of Wands. This feels like having a clear understanding of when to detach from something. This is like wanting to rest. That's what this is about, isn't it? This feels like wanting to take a break. Yeah, the Lovers and the Devil. Yeah. This is like wanting to rest, wanting to take a break. Okay, so let's go back to square one. Tell me about the Seven of Pentacles and that Knight of Cups. What is this about? So, for some of you, we're fixing to take a turn, okay? For some of you, I feel like there may be two different energies here. There's one energy that is coming towards you, I feel like, in a romantic way that you don't see any kind of longevity with. Like, you don't see it going anywhere. You don't see it, like, putting a lot of time or energy into that because you don't feel like it's gonna, there's no future there, you know? That it's not worth your time, basically. Whether that's someone or something, you just feel like it's just not going anywhere. There's a lack of reward. It's not worth your time. This is an acknowledgement that you have, okay? You have a dream here, which is so funny because we're right around Martin Luther King for me to say that, right? But you have this dream here of what it is that you do want and what would bring you fairness, what would bring you balance. And you're very grounded in what you see as far as that desire that you have. And you're trying to find balance in it as well. Then there's this other, I feel like, energy here. I feel like you get some kind of message. It has to do with some sort of flirtation. It's flirtatious kind of message. It's about going slow into something, putting in some kind of effort. Someone wanting to put in the effort because they're interested, but taking things very slow. But there's a flirtatiousness that's here. But then there's this gratitude, which is a feeling of not understanding or wanting to even deal with someone's, or trying to understand someone's motives, and having just a negative look on something being difficult. Like, this would be like, you know, I'm interested in that, but I want to, like, move very slowly. I'm just not really wanting to take on the weight of having to think about a relationship or think about putting an effort into something else, or it's just like thinking about what that is going to entail. It almost brings a negative mindset to it. This feels a lot like things coming towards you and you don't know what to do. Like, you don't have the energy. It's like not having the energy to even, you try to put effort into the things that you really kind of want. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's see if we can make better sense of this, because this just is all over the place to me. I mean, it is, but it isn't. But Knight of Cups, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, the book, the Eight of Cups. So there's something here you're walking away from because you don't see longevity in it. You feel like there's a lack of reward. And even if you do have, like, I almost wanted to say tender loving care, but even if you do have, your heart is in it in some kind of way, like you have care or something like that going on here, but you just don't see it leading to anywhere. So you're kind of walking away, and this is kind of like a fantasy type feeling too. So you're kind of disillusioned here, you know. You're leaving this behind, walking away from whatever that is, because you don't see it worth your time or energy. Okay, so then you have Justice and the King of Pentacles with Dream. The Nine of Swords. Isn't that interesting? So whatever it is that you really want, that you really desire, you kind of have some anxiety around it. Now keep in mind this is a reading about what's coming towards you, and this feels like energies that are coming your way. And I think this dream here is something that sounds really good, but at times it can also cause this nightmare because it's something else that this says on there. So it's like having to justify or having to bring balance to a situation causes you to feel anxious here in that. Having to be committed to something, that's what this is. Having to be committed and having to be fair and having to give to someone or to a situation does bring some anxiety. And I think it's from being fatigued, being exhausted. Having, like, you've been through the battlefield here and you're tired, and they're telling you you're fixing to have to, there's a possibility you might have to go back out there, and you're like, good God, I don't want to. I'm tired. It's like that, but it's like the love battlefield or the work battlefield, Like, there's a desire to want to win at something. There's a desire to want to gain something or have something, but you just don't have the energy or the gunk to want to go towards it, Why is the Knight of Pentacles in the Page of Wands here? That's why it's so mixed and it's very weird, like, kind of energy here. Yeah, the High Priestess, Pisces. It's like I want to go at something slow. Also, this is really trying to, like, go at something very slow because you're really trying to listen to your intuition. Slow it down. Not want to jump into anything, right? Maybe that's something that hasn't worked out for you in the past. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, maybe let's try this, like, a very slow-moving pace and see if that helps. Or this is acknowledging something's going to take some time. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles just popped out as I was talking about that, which is about you're still recovering from something here. Yeah, and this is about being overwhelmed, having choices or options, being overwhelmed with that, not wanting to deal with it altogether, because you're still overcoming something. Yeah, okay. So why is the Sun in reverse with that Nine of Wands in reverse? The Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, that's the effort. So basically, what are we looking at when it comes to what you don't see coming? I feel like there's some opportunities. There's the Ten of Wands. And the Four of Cups in the reverse. And the Six of Swords in the reverse. You're still carrying some stuff and you know it. That's basically what this is. So you're going to have some opportunities that are coming towards you, whether that's love or just like other endeavors. But you're wounded. I mean, you're still healing. You're still recovering. Maybe even, this could be even financial with that Five of Pentacles we saw in reverse. Like, you're still overcoming some things. And it's like, now, hold on. I don't know I'm entirely ready for that. Like, I feel like I just need to break. I just need to sit in my Four Swords. I need to reevaluate. I need some rest, but there is interest here in something. You just want to move at a snail's pace. And you're listening to your intuition when it comes to that. And this may be something new that's coming towards you. Maybe for some of you you're not aware of yet with this Page of Wands. I do feel like you're going to get some kind of a message here around this. You're still walking away from something. Some kind of disillusion perhaps, and something that I feel like you may have invested or wasted time or energy into as well. But I also feel like that there's some fear around commitment. There's some, you have that dream, but at this time it may even look like a nightmare, like it's like, yeah, eventually, like, that's what I dream about, but right now it just feels like a nightmare. I don't want to have to, like, I don't want to think about or worry about anything anymore. Anything else. I already have 10 ones here that have responsibilities and weight and, some kind of I'm having to accept certain things as I am right now, and I'm having to carry around some kind of emotional baggage as is that I'm trying to heal from, or some kind of moving into some kind of awareness or transition I'm trying to cope with. And there is something here that you are interested in, but it's also like you're listening to that inner voice that's telling you to slow, take it slow down. It's just kind of there. So when you think about having to put in the work or putting in effort into something, even though if it's something that you want, you have a negative mindset around it at this time because you're just tired. That's it. That's what's here. I think this is a transition. I think this is like you're moving towards a new beginning, but you're in the process of understanding that you're semi-ready. You know what I mean? It's like you're semi-ready, but you're still processing. You're still letting go. You're still like, changing. Yeah, yield. You're still surrendering. There's process right there. You're still surrendering. You're still trying to accept. You're still trying to figure things out. And you're just not wanting to add any more weight onto your plate. You already have 10 wands here. So whether that's a relationship, which I do see something to do with someone here that's interested. I think that you're, communicating, perhaps listening to your intuition and taking something very slowly. Not that you're not interested, but that you're just needing to go slow. And there's that. And if this has to do with the, opportunity or project or something like that, it's the same kind of feeling to it. I'm not ready to take on some kind of crazy step up to the plate in this King of Pentacles with this Justice, even if I know that that's something that's right for me. It just makes me automatically get some kind of anxiety around it, So you're listening to your intuition when that comes up, and you're saying, okay, this is not the feeling I want to feel, and you're reacting accordingly to that. I think that you're aware that there's still some, like, for some of you, some internal work that you're processing, that you're going through, and that you need to go through, especially when it comes to like coming out of some kind of negativity, perhaps, or sadness, or maybe even depression, and saying, I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm processing, I'm getting past things here, but I am still surrendering and accepting. And I need to kind of, if I am moving forward, I need to do that in a very slow pace. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's even a good thing if you are going through whatever you're going through here. Okay, so what is coming towards you, or what you don't see coming, is, for some of y'all too, I didn't mention this, I'm going to have to mention it now. For some of y'all, you may actually be turning someone away with that Knight of Cups and that King of Cups, with that Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It may be that you're walking away from someone altogether, or you've been doing that, okay? There may be someone else that's here too that has some kind of wish or desire with you, and that automatically brings in some kind of anxiety around you that you're not ready for. There's a truth or an honesty around that. And there's also this opportunity here that I feel like some kind of message coming in about needing to listen to your intuition about taking something very slow when it comes to love, when it comes to, lust even, and needing still to work on yourself or work on some things that you have going on here before you feel comfortable taking on any more weight. And that in itself is evolution, right? Understanding, and I think this is a process too. you may have not seen this before, and this brings me back to elements, right? The 4 elements, working together with what you have or what you understand, especially about yourself and where you are, and accepting where you are. Accepting, yeah, I may want this, but I know I'm not ready for that now, you know? And working with the energies you do have to overcome those before you take anything else on. That 12 being that Hanged Man energy. Like I said before, it's hard in that hangman energy to be hanging upside down and knowing that you have to see it in a different point of view or perspective, and it may not be what you want at the time, but you also know it's necessary for your growth and for your evolution. Okay, so if that made sense, let's get some advice and we'll see where that takes us. I'll start with the Spirit Message Oracle. Okay, so what advice do you have for pile 2? Okay. Yeah, trust the guidance that you're receiving. Number 35, Archangel Uriel has blessed you with a brilliant epiphany. I am also present to clear away your worries so that you can trust your divine guidance. There you go. That's this trusting in divine guidance, trusting in your higher purpose, in your inner voice, in yourself. And just one second. I can't get it out. This is the Wild Offering Oracles. What do you have for pile 2, please? What do you have for pile 2? There we go. Let's see what we got. Enjoyment. Yeah. Don't forget to enjoy yourself here. I feel like this is about like evolution, processing, working on yourself, releasing some things, what you can and can't take on. You know, don't forget to have some fun in your life. Striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. The more you're inviting love to take over, the more enjoyment comes. Allow me to enjoy this life, dear Lord. Okay, so for some of you, this right here is where your fun is going to be. And I think that you're aware of that. If this is someone in your life that you are interested in, or someone that you can just have fun with and flirt or whatever you're going to do here, yeah, you can take that slow. But it's something that gives you joy, something that gives you a break, something that gives you an opportunity to kind of enjoy, you know, the hard work that you've put into yourself and where you are, right? Okay. We're going to get an inner child card. This is going to show me, well, this is going to show me where... Well, that's weird. The whole thing's just flipped over. This says, number 22, let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel. Yeah. This is supposed to show me where you should be working on yourself, or something that you may not be seeing about yourself. So let's see what that is. Maybe allowing yourself to feel. I have 2 cards. We have number 33, speak to yourself with kindness. Yeah, that negative self-talk is something that could be here. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. And then also, look, it came out again. Number 22, let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel. So you have 33 and 22. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Hey Siri, what does the spiritual number 3322 mean? It means it's the angel number associated with the spiritual meaning of abundance and prosperity. This number is said to represent divine blessings, prosperity, and success. So that King of Pentacles with that dream, you may have something here that you are working on, something that you feel like may be bringing in some sort of abundance or prosperity here for you. That causes some anxiety or stress or something, or maybe you're kind of striving for that, you know. I would say let yourself let yourself feel joy, let yourself play and have fun, because that's where imagination is. And imagination is where we get all of our manifestations, like where our dreams can become reality. You know, that's where we decide like what we want, and we dream about the future of what we want, what that looks like, and everything else. So without all that fun and joy and excitement and imagination, you're kind of taking that away from your, life in that way. And then it just becomes stress. Then it just becomes work, and then it just becomes, negative. So, again, it's just kind of referring you back to, and I feel like if there is, like I already said this once, but I'll say it one more time. I'll repeat myself a lot. If there is someone here that is fun, that's bringing in that fun, like, aspect to things, then I would definitely take them up on that opportunity. It's just, move slowly. That's all. Okay. So we are what we believe we are. Yep. You have the white and the red peel here. So, it's kind of like, which way do you want to see things? It's up to you. It's all in the mind. Don't worry about the things you can't control. There you go. And stress less and smile more. So there's a constant reminder of that. Not everything has to be like a detriment to everything else. You know what I mean? Like L, M, or W, K, V, E, X, C, I, O, J, and C. And that's it. L, M, K. Let me know. Maybe somebody's asking you to do something, and they're saying, well, let me know. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to leave you right here. Live is right there. How funny. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you here. Thank you. Love is there, too. Love and live. Live and love. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and kindness, of course. I hope this helps. Good luck, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Okay, so if you chose number 6, up from the depths, releasing difficulty. What you don't see coming. Well, I mean, that's a good sign. She's headed out of the darkness there, moving towards the light. 6 can be about balance and, sorry, I have another thing that's coming through as I'm trying to explain that. 6 can be about balance and equal give and take. It's a representation of love. 6 in tarot is the Lovers. So card of choice. It's a choice here. Releasing the difficulty. That's a choice in itself as well. Up from the depths here. She has this blue ribbon, which is kind of like, obviously it's around her neck there. It's on the back of her dress. Blue being there is a color of the throat chakra. So it could be that what you don't see coming could be some kind of communication, you being able to communicate something, of releasing a difficulty of, maybe this has been difficult for you to express yourself. Maybe it's been difficult for you to understand or see something in a certain way. And this could be what you're releasing or letting go of. You're coming up out of that being difficult and feeling more confident in expressing yourself, being a more clear or communicator, communicative, being more effective with your communication. Okay, so I feel like you're headed in a good direction. Whether this is in a relationship or this is just you're releasing some kind of difficulty when it comes to communication. Okay, so that's where we're starting at. As far as what you don't see coming, we're going to use the answer oracles to get started. Okay. One more shuffle. Pile 3. What do they not see coming? For pile 3, what do they not see coming? For pile 3, what do they not see coming? What do they not see coming for pile 3? Betrayal. Whew. Breakup, divorce, infidelity. Oh, wow. Secrets, codes, treasures, bribes, disguise, reject. My goodness. Taboo here. So, releasing the difficulty. This may be something that you're releasing that has been difficult. Let's keep going. This could be like speaking up or communicating. Sunset. Decline, fade, and aging. So, the difficulty around a situation, I feel like, is what is what you're releasing, whether that has to do with communication or not. Bottom of the deck, cooperation. Okay, listening, acceptance, teamwork. I'm gonna have to go straight to the tarot here, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna start shuffling as I'm talking. This is the you already have the Hierophant and the Seven of Cups. This is the Flovid Tarot, which is vivid flower. Flovid. Okay. So, keeping something a secret could be part of this. Releasing the difficulty, whatever it is that you've been holding on to, or there's been something that you, maybe it wasn't a secret or something that just haven't been said. Could have to do with some kind of rejection. Could have to do with some sort of something taboo, forbidden. That there's something here that is declining with this. Okay, I have to get the tarot. This feels like it may be somewhat triggering, just so you are clear. Yeah, coming clean. Clean up, clean slate, empty, organize, prosperity. Okay. What is this about? Releasing difficulties up from the depths. What is this about with betrayal? That's the Five of Swords. Okay, that's what I was afraid of, but here we are. So the Five of Swords is a conflict. It is being confused, conflicted, or an actual argument or disagreement that's taking place. It can be obviously painful. You have swords here, so it can be something where words are said that you regret, things of that nature. With this betrayal, breakup, divorce, there could have been a situation where someone feels hurt, obviously betrayed, or confused, conflicted about that. What are secrets here? And this is what you don't see coming. What are secrets here? Ten of Swords in the reverse. So this is overcoming. This can also look like a resurrection here. Let's keep going. What is rejection here? I feel like justice is here. There's something here you maybe thought was over and done with that's maybe resurfacing, okay? Causing some kind of conflict. What this is resurfacing for with justice is so that the scales can be balanced. With reject being here, I feel like this is an opportunity for you to reject some. This could be like a reconciliation here with this Ten of Swords being in reverse. It's like being able, I feel like some of you may be turning your back here on someone, but you're able to either, maybe communication for you and justification is no communication or walking away. She's the one that's dressed all in this blue here with justice, which is Libra energy with reject. So I feel like for some of you, this is you listening to someone or hearing someone out, but still choosing to reject that situation. I feel like with secrets, there may be some things that are expressed that haven't been told when it comes to an ending or a betrayal or someone feeling like that might make somewhat of a difference. Why is sunset here? Strength. This could also represent some sort of rejection taking place that brings justification in or brings justice to the situation. So it doesn't have to be like you're rejecting someone. Maybe someone rejected someone else and that was justice for you, you know? Strength is here, so that's Leo energy. This is having patience and allowing the situation to kind of decline or fade out. So it takes some time, it takes some patience here to be able to fully release this, because this has been a difficult situation. But there's a willingness to cooperate. Tell me about that Five of Swords and what is this? What they don't see coming here. Yeah, the Ten of Cups in reverse. So there's this conflict, okay, around, this could be family as well, but the Ten of Cups is a broken home. It's where once there was this emotional fulfillment and it's been shattered by a betrayal, a divorce or breakup here, some kind of infidelity perhaps. Or just simply a betrayal, feeling betrayed. Okay, so the Ten of Swords in reverse with that secrets that's there. The Fool in reverse. So this is like taking a risk or doing something and basically it not playing out. This is like, I wish I never would have kind of feeling to it, you know. I wish I never would have kept that a secret. Or I wish I would have never done that particular thing. You also have codes, treasures, and bribes in disguise on here. So I wish I wouldn't have jumped off that ledge. That's someone saying that, right? Okay, what is this? Yeah, the Nine of Cups in reverse. So someone may have done something out of impulse or done something, overindulged in something or overgave to something, you know. Maybe they were, this is a card in the reverse. It's like when you're, let's just say, put this into perspective, okay? So this could be like, you know, you're just not wanting to think about, deal with, or do anything, and you just want to go have fun, or just want to go cut loose, or just want to go have a good time, or whatever. But so let's just say you go try to drown your sorrows, and you end up drinking too much, or falling into something too much, and then it turns into something that is makes things worse, not better. You know, it's that kind of a feeling. So something like that is here, where someone says, okay, I overindulged and now I regret it, and now it's something that you can't take back, right? Tell me about justice with reject. What is that about? The Tower in reverse. So this can be like wanting to put something back together, wanting to overcome the fall. With reject here, I feel like for some of you, I really feel like this is you kind of saying no, or this is you feeling like it's something that's impossible even. Or in order for things to be put back together, you have to reject something. In order to bring justice to the situation and make things right, you have to reject something else. You know, that something like that is there. Tell me about strength. This feels very cause and effect. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, I have to be honest. You're fixing to go into a situation where you're going to have to be very grounded and internally very strong. Because I feel like you're walking into, or you're going to be confronted with, a very vulnerable situation, and standing your ground is very important. let's get some more detail here. I'm seeing someone that is kind of like, there's some kind of end that occurred here. There's the resurrection that's taking place, and there's a rejection around putting that back together. Or someone's rejecting something, or you're having to reject something in order to maintain peace and to keep something from falling altogether. So, tell me about the Ten of Cups in reverse with that Five of Swords. Whoa. The Nine of Swords just fell out on the floor. So this is something that you're worried about. Something that keeps you up at night. Or this is something that keeps someone up at night. There's that Nine of Cups again. In reverse. So this just feels like somebody's very unhappy about the situation. It's something that really keeps them up at night because there's this conflict around whatever occurred here and what was lost. Okay. Secrets, the Fool, the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Three of Wands. I think there's someone here that's planning on coming towards you or on their way towards you, wanting to resolve some sort of betrayal or some sort of the issues, wanting to address something. They're like waiting for the right opportunity for that. Yeah, Two of Wands is to clarify. So they're planning on coming towards you. Okay, this is someone that's planning on coming towards you. They're wanting to, I guess, kind of, I don't know, what do they want exactly? Well, these cards are just coming out like crazy now. Yeah, Six of Cups in reverse. They want to resolve the issues of the past. There's also a clarification of some kind of secrets, some kind of opportunity that they took perhaps, or some explanation of something of the past that they're wanting to clarify. This might have to do with like something not being a betrayal. Maybe there was some secrets involved, or they disguised something as something else, or there was some kind of bribe here. Something was done that they regret, but that it's also like they're trying to change the way the storyline is. So, to what? Six of Cups in reverse. The King of Swords. They're trying to straighten out what they feel like is left with the situation carrying some kind of emotional baggage here. This is someone that's coming in wanting to be honest, wanting to kind of straighten out the past and the choices that were made and the regrets that are here. What is the secrets, though? What is it? Oh, it's the Seven of Swords. So they were strategic. They were sneaky about something. What was it? You may or may not be aware of this. The Seven of Wands. This is why they were defensive. Or maybe they didn't defend. Or didn't try. Or didn't put up a fight or something. About what? The Nine of Pentacles. This might have to do with finances or being in your comfort zone or being defensive about what they wanted from a situation. The Two of Cups. What they wanted from a relationship. Or perhaps wanting a relationship or wanting to be independent. There's something to do with this. This is someone that's wanting to straighten out the past. And they're wanting to defend themselves and the value that how they saw a relationship or what they valued when it comes to a relationship. What's the truth of that, though? Oh, the King of Cups just came out. And the Lovers. So either this is you or this is someone else. You'll know what this is. They'll tell you what this is, but I feel like this is someone that's coming in wanting to defend the relationship or the way that they felt. Is this about you, or I feel like you would be this Queen of Pentacles, King or Queen, it doesn't matter the gender. It's just you're in this stable energy here. So if this is this you or someone else? The Two of Pentacles. That doesn't answer me. That just says the Four of Cups in reverse. This feels like somebody wanting to straighten out juggling that was going on. It's like they're wanting to defend something to do with this, that they didn't do something in the proper way, but because of some secrets or strategic kind of energy that went on, it did look bad. This feels like somebody trying to defend themselves. I think for some of you, they're also wanting to defend the relationship that they have here with you, and how they saw or see that relationship, and how they want to prioritize that, or how they didn't prioritize that. And somebody's just wanting to defend themselves. This feels like somebody that took a risk, basically, and it ended horribly. How does this person see you right now currently? That might help us. Four of Pentacles in the reverse. The Ten of Wands in reverse. They feel like that you've released this. They feel like that you no longer, I wouldn't say no longer care, but you've kind of just broken free from carrying this as being a burden for you. You're no longer interested or no longer carrying the weight of the situation. They see you as breaking free from it. Yeah, Nine of Wands. You're no longer like, and that could be this too, releasing the difficulty here, right? But I feel like this is you releasing the difficulty, because I think what's happening here is you're getting the opportunity really to listen and accept. So, which brings me to the Tower in reverse. Scorpio, Libra. What is that Tower in reverse with Justice? Oh, the Three of Swords. So the Justice here is the rejection. Rejecting that opportunity to put something back together. This could be due to not wanting total destruction, or what is behind that Three of Swords? This could also be like the scales being balanced here, you know, with that Three of Swords. The Seven of Cups in reverse. Being in a position where you don't have any other choice is something that's here. And that being justice in itself. This feels like karma and scales being balanced, really. But this is causing you to be internally strong here with this, and to move forward, basically, with this. Strength in the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Because there's not any kind of longevity, or you don't see, like, this going anywhere or getting any better, or this is fading out. Five of Wands in reverse. This is going your separate ways here with someone. Or waiting to see if being patient and kind of standing your ground and waiting to see if this is just gonna, like, you need to go your separate ways. Some of you are making that decision though. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles. you're making a decision here of if you want to work on this or if you want to agree to disagree, or just forgive and forget and move, or just, how do I want to say that? The Five of Wands in reverse is like, listen, we may not agree on this, or this is what it is, kind of a situation, but I'm just kind of wanting to release it all together, and because it's not going anywhere, it's not going to get us anywhere, it is what it is. This is the decline, this is fading and aging. It's like there is not anything else to contribute or to work to put into this. It doesn't align or fit with you, and it may require some patience and inner strength, but I feel like there's an energy here of moving past it. For some of you, if you're choosing to, like if this is someone that's rejecting something else and they're choosing to stay like committed here to you, then this is kind of saying, well, it's going to take me a lot of time. It's going to take me a lot of patience and a lot of work to be able to get back on the same page here, or to see this going anywhere. You know what I mean? So that's going to be up to you guys and what you decide. Yeah, Queen of Swords is here. So again, that's going to be up to you guys and what you decide on this situation. But for a lot of y'all, justice in this is coming out of some kind of illusion, and because I do think that's what's here. With secrets and betrayal, I mean, obviously someone was keeping something from you, was keeping something to themselves, or they, deceived you in some way, or they created some kind of false illusion in some sense, or you were living in some kind of false reality of something to that nature. And now you are aware, you've woken up to this, and it caused a lot of pain and heartbreak. And the justification here is the opportunity to now rejecting and deciding not to put this back together, or someone else rejecting something in order to bring balance back to you in the situation. So that's going to look a little different for everybody. And it just depends on the storyline here, right? The Knight of Pentacles is here at the bottom, and Judgment with the Knight of Wands. So this is difficult here to have this see, even and normally on Judgment here, Scorpio energy, they're out of the coffins, but here they're not, and the moon is still there. I want to say whoever this is, I feel like it is difficult for this person to express themselves, releasing the difficulty. It is difficult for them to express themselves. But how are you seeing this person that's here in this reading? Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini is over there. How are you seeing this person in this reading that's coming towards you in this way? The Three of Cups in reverse. You don't trust this person. You feel like disconnected from them. You feel like this person is someone that kind of gossips or spread rumors or secrets behind your back. Just basically, you can't trust this person. You did once see them as someone that you were closely connected with, or that maybe you could even confide in. How are you seeing this person? The Chariot in reverse. How are you seeing this person? That's Cancer energy. The Eight of Cups in reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune. Can you clarify this for me, how they're seeing this person with the Three of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Cups in reverse? So that's a lot of betrayal. I mean, that's betrayal. This is someone that betrayed your trust or betrayed your love, you know? The Chariot in reverse. The Five of Pentacles. This is someone that made you feel abandoned or unseen or unappreciated. Eight of Cups in the reverse, the Four of Swords in the reverse. This is someone that you've had to emotionally kind of pull yourself away or detach from. You've had to reevaluate your emotional attachment to this person and why that is. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here? Which is also karma for me. Yeah, the Knight of Wands in reverse. So you see this person as someone that is a time waster. You see them as someone that is a very impulsive, or kind of just like plays the field, kind of uses or abuses other people's time or energy. Interesting. Yeah, the Empress is here at the bottom with the Four of Wands in reverse and the Hanged Man. I feel like you see this whole situation differently now. You're willing to listen, though. There is this willingness to listen, but I feel like you're releasing this, to be honest with you. For most of you, I feel like you're releasing this altogether. But for some of you, you just have this understanding that if you are to contribute, to cooperate with this person moving forward, that it will take a lot of effort on your part, a lot of work, and a lot of inner strength. And this Empress is showing me that you've grown from this experience, from this downfall here. With that being said, let's get some advice. Oh, mercy, mercy, mercy. Tell me about advice for pile 3, please. Yeah. Number 20. 20 is Judgment in Tarot, right? No, it's not yet time. This is not divine right time to take action. Please be patient. The opportune moment is approaching. So for some of you, if you were thinking about taking action here in this situation, I would say, you know, maybe sit on that a little longer. Think about it a little longer. Something may happen in the meantime. For others of you, this is just a reminder to you, if you've been thinking about it or wondering about it or having anxiety about it in any kind of way. I feel like this person's the one that's going to come towards you at some point. So there's still some kind of understanding that needs to be had here. Can I have some advice? Can I have some advice, please? This is the Wild Offering Oracles. Can I have some advice about this, please? For pile 3. Aging. Aging is here twice. There's an understanding here too. I think that's what this finale, like finalization of things are. It's an understanding of time and aging and declining and the fade over time. Like, okay. I am one with unlimited love beyond all seeming restrictions of age. I am filled with joy, energy, and beauty, a vessel for the divine chakra. What else? Can I have one more? Please? Oh, wait. We're going to get an inner child card. This can be what you need to be looking at, working on, thinking about, something that you're missing. What is that for pile 3? You got 2 too. Everybody's getting 2. Okay. Practice freedom. Number 26. Release the weight of judgment. Judgment is here so many times. Well, I say so many, but it's here 3 times now. Releasing the weight of judgment. I feel like this may have brought out some insecurities with you, or someone judging you in a situation or something like that. You've really had to kind of gather yourself and put yourself back together, and this really played on your insecurities in some way, I feel like, for whatever the situation was. This says release the weight of the judgment. So if that has to do with this person or the situation or whatever, especially when it comes to making a choice or separating yourself in some way, and the judgment that's being placed on you because of that, even if it's just from this person. 44. So this reduced down, 26 is 4, so you have 444, which is the number of protection. So protecting yourself as far as giving yourself the time that you need with all this aging that's here. You know the way. Trust your intuition on the journey. Yep, listening to your intuition is really important in this, and trusting that this is going to take some time to overcome, obviously. Time is so relevant in your reading. Like, I mean, it always is in the readings, but for some reason for y'all, this is like a time will tell kind of feeling to it. Whether you choose to stay, go, whatever you choose, when it comes to what you've learned and releasing the pain from this, I guess, is something that is going to include time is going to be really relevant in this. Because over time, it's not the time that heals, it's the time that you have to heal that makes the difference. Time that you have to readjust, to think about this, to feel how you feel emotionally about it, to have that closure, to overcome the conflict, to just agree to disagree, or whatever the case may be. Seeing that something wouldn't have worked out in the end anyways, it's just whatever it is, all that in your mind, it takes time to really settle with all of that, But whatever this is, it's going to help pull you from the difficulties that you've been having about the situation and an understanding of it. So you can kind of release it and move forward and let go of it. Interesting. Okay, let's get some initials and some charms. You have Libra and Taurus energy there at the bottom of the deck, by the way. Okay, so you have, this is gonna, you're gonna be stepping outside of your comfort zone here, because I don't think that you're fully prepared for this, to be honest. With the astronaut there. Yeah, be kind. That's a reminder, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Be careful what you say, or, with communication here. Listening is really important here. Listen before you speak is something I heard. Being in control of your communication is really important. Live in the present. Okay. You have A, X, M. We have Max right there. P, B, C, J, W, N, G, and S. Okay. All right, guys. So I am going to leave you here. So definitely good luck with this. I hope this helps. I'm sending you so much love, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye. If you chose number 2, which I love when that happens, right? You have attachment here, longing and desperation. So she is stuck in a spider web there. And I don't know if y'all can see it, but on this card, yeah, you can see it. There's these little different colored dots that are here, kind of like a rainbow, right? It's a reflection off of the water droplets on the spider web. You also have the moon in the background there and some mountains. So attachment, we're talking about what you don't see coming. So with this attachment here, there may be some kind of web that you're stuck in, or you're being stuck in, you feel stuck in. Number 2 is, obviously it could be a partnership. It could be about balance. Second house is Taurus energy. We talk about possessions, your dependability being number 2. This could have to do with depending on someone else, being stuck in a situation, depending on someone else. Longing and desperation. This could be like someone that's desperate here, or you could be longing here for something. You're stuck on someone or something. This could be a contract that you're stuck in as well. Okay. With that being said, let's start with the Visions of Life Tarot. I use these oracle cards because they are hard to read. And I lost the book when I first got them, like forever ago. They don't make this anymore, and so can't get another one. And I'll call them out if I see, like, if I know what the card is, but you'll see. Look, partnerships is already there, so that could, and that's the devil in reverse, though. So, okay, buckle up. I feel like we're fixing to get into a fun reading here. Okay, so let's see what you don't see coming. Pile 2, what do they not see coming? With number 2, attachment, what do they not see coming? We have compassion. Compassion. I love this card. I think it's funny because you have this guy that's here that needs, you know, he's dependent, right? And then you have this guy here that's doing great and fine, and he's trying to give him advice, but there's just empty words because that doesn't help. Because he's so in a position to where advice at this point, he needs some kind of resources to help him. Advice isn't going to do a whole lot, you know. You can get great advice all day long, but until you have like the resources, you can't really get anywhere. That's kind of what I see from this card. And he's not looking at him even. He's looking at his hat and, like, obviously, like, great, there's just empty words here. Like, that's not giving me anything. So, okay, that's what we're starting with. This is also, I think, the 6 of Pentacles in the tarot. So, okay, alrighty, here we go. Oh, come here. Self-efficiency. Okay, so this could have to do with someone not being able to rely on themselves here or having a difficult time. Difficulty, longing, attachment, self-sufficiency. Again, it's the same energy. Look at this. You have this lady here. It's a new mom, and that's what you look like when you're a new mom. I have 3 kids, so I could say that. You literally have no time to yourself. Even with one, it's just like they need your full attention 24/7, you know. You don't have a lot of time to yourself. I remember I used to shower. I had a big, like, walk-in shower, and I would take my baby in there with me and put them in the Bobby chair, you know. You remember those? And shower with and give him a shower too, you know, bathe him as well, and he loved it. But that was how I was able to shower, you know. But and then over here you have this one here that's very, like, very independent and has that poodle, which I'm sure is also something to take care of, but it's not as hard as taking care of a human, you know, baby. So there's the same kind of, like, feel that's going on here, and they're both here on the side and the other one's on the other side. So I'm curious to see where we're headed here with this, with these cards. Self-sufficiency, compassion, self-sufficiency. Okay. This is kind of like your situation is not my situation. Can't you see, like, that there's a big difference here between the two of us kind of feeling to it? Having compassion for the other person. We have romantic now. You're in a very different place than someone else is. Like, your idea of what's important, I feel like, is in a very different place from someone else. And that could just be maybe you're in your life, you're in a different place. With this romantic card too, it's like you have all these butterflies that are here flying off, but they have rocks attached to them. So it's kind of like this idea of romanticizing something, how something is or how something is going to be, what you expect. Illusions, there you go. The illusions of something here. Okay. Longing, attachment, stress is at the bottom. This feels like a situation that you're longing for, or someone is longing for you, but they have their idea of how they see that situation is very off from reality. What they expect is very off from is reality. So you could be in a partnership. Let's just say this, for instance. You could be in a partnership with someone where, let's say, they're wanting to, like, you know, spend on this, that, and the other, and they're more kind of in that kind of feel, and you're more in a practical understanding of what it is that you need. So wants and needs could be very different here for you and someone else. But yet you still have this attachment that's here. You still have this longing or partnership that's here. So, you know, what do you do with that when you're... and there could be someone here that maybe romanticize the situation, or they feel as if they... with this illusion here, like they may have said that they were going to offer a bunch of things that they really couldn't. And this could be part of the issue here as well, because he's handing her, which he has back here in the background. He's selling. What is he selling? Wound up hearts. He's selling love. He's like love bombing, right? She's seeing wedding bells. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've ever wanted in my whole entire life. This is it. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is my person. But when it comes to the delivery, you can't really deliver that. And then you have this, I'm stressed out, trying to get back to what was an illusion to begin with. So it feels like either... and I don't know what role you are here in this situation, but when it comes to what's coming towards you, what you don't see coming, there is this, I feel like this is part of a conversation because of this stressed out energy. And this could be even someone that you are speaking to, like maybe somebody you're trying to get advice with or from. Yeah, you have healing underneath that. And anxious. There's that anxious energy again. This feels like somebody wanting to heal a situation, but they're very stressed out about it because you're not on the same page, or you just don't get along, or you're not in the same... maybe you thought you were in the same dynamic, understood each other, but there was an illusion with that. Romanticizing something. Let's get the tarot. I'm going to use the Paul's Tarot for y'all, which I'm pretty excited about. I love the Paul's Tarot so much. It's just fun. It's just fun. Yeah. Judgment in reverse. The Two of Wands in reverse. Something didn't go according to plan here. There's an attachment here, though. For some of you, this is an attachment like you've fallen into someone's web, or you are attached to someone. But for some of you, this could be like... maybe now you have strings attached here in some way. You know, when I see this card, I think about like a spider. When a spider catches a moth or whatever in its web, it kind of drains it over time, right? It feeds off of it. So there's this, which we just went to a dark place with that. I didn't mean to, but you know, it's just like someone kind of feeding you something here, or some kind of an illusion here, or perhaps maybe that's just what you've done, and now it's like you can't uphold that. You know, that's that kind of a feeling to it. Okay, so let's get this narrowed down. Frustrated because it's not working out in the way that you wanted it to, basically, is the bottom line here, and stressed out about that. Tell me about compassion. Tell me about compassion. Six of Wands. I heard I'm trying in my head. Why is self-sufficiency here? Yeah, the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is not being able to give someone what they're really asking or wanting. This is like someone saying that they are trying, but they don't feel seen, or they don't feel like that you're recognizing what they are trying to do, what they are trying to accomplish. Okay. I think whatever someone said that they could offer, this is where the romanticism illusion comes in. It's like a false... it was under false pretenses in some way. It's like... this is very mixed. This feels like an argument that I'm... like an energy of an argument I'm stepping into. Like, you said that this, and this. And the other person says, well, you said that this, and this. It's like whoever, like, you've presented yourself as in this situation was not, it's kind of like when I don't know if this was something that started very quickly. You didn't really get to know each other very well, or something like that is going on. But it's a energy, it's a feeling, okay, of whenever you first meet someone, you put your best self forward, right? But life doesn't allow us to just walk around with this like best foot forward, right? Life is lifing, and we're living it, and so your true self is going to eventually like emerge. Of course, when we first like get with someone, meet someone, we want to put our best self forward, but that's just not something that's practical or can last, right? So it's almost kind of like that's kind of fallen apart, and someone came into this with some pretty high expectations, but I don't think that they were high expectations based off of just what they wanted. I think it was also what was being presented at the time. Why is romantic? Okay. Yeah, the Lovers, romantic. See, and even here again, the butterflies are about transformation, but the rocks are realizing that something's going to take some time because they're carrying some responsibility there with the Lovers, which is, the Lovers is, seeing someone, romanticizing someone. I don't feel like this isn't practical though. Even if it's upright. Gemini energy. Tell me about illusions. I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards so I can put this all together. Yeah, Justice in reverse. Okay, so now the scales are like being like, now you're seeing that like basically the aftermath of this illusion that was created here. Ambitions is something that's popping out for me at the bottom. Okay, this is being stuck here. Okay, this is like creating something and then being stuck in what that creation is, but it's not what's practical. Why is the Six of Wands here? And now I just heard you said you'd be happy with this, but you're not. Why is the Six of Wands here? Yeah, the Hermit in reverse. So what you don't see coming, this is someone that's either breaking their silence or coming out of hermit mode. Wanting to, it's like they want to be seen or they want to be recognized. Either that's you or someone else, so take it how it resonates. I don't know who's who in this situation. Why is the Knight of Cups in reverse? The Magician in reverse. Yeah, this is the issue that's here. I think that someone created an illusion around self-sufficiency. How self-sufficient that they were. When the more self-sufficient you are, the more capable you are of taking on responsibilities. And someone romanticized this in some kind of way. But on the flip side of that, it's also about someone that has like certain expectations of someone else that's just not practical. But it's what someone else created at the same time. You know what I mean? Why is the Lovers here with romantic? Yeah, the Three of Swords. See? That's what's under that. This is like a situation that just breaks your heart because you did see this person as being that person that was your person. You know, with the Lovers, it's like, well, what happened? We did like align together. Like we aligned together. Like we wanted the same things. We were the same kind of like morals and same kind of values of what we saw and everything else. And what happened? Well, the Three of Swords happened. It's like I said before, someone created some kind of illusion here. And it wasn't about what was really being expressed or shown. Someone was like, wanted to create that stuck energy, wanted to get someone to kind of, I don't know how, I'm going to move on because I don't know how to express that. And I don't know what role you are either. So I don't want to be like crazy triggering in this reading. Why is Justice here in the reverse? Libra energy, Gemini, Virgo. Five of Swords in reverse. This feels like her cycle that's repeating. This feels like you're like giving someone what they want or telling someone what they want to hear, but it's just a momentary fix. It's not like the truth. What's going on with this? What's the deeper parts to this? What's happening here? Death in reverse. That's what I just said. With the Empress that's here. This is repeating a cycle. It's just repeating a cycle. There may be some mother wounds here, I have to say. I mean, obviously that's not everybody's story, but I do feel like for some of you that has something to do with it. Scorpio, Taurus, Libra here. This is repeating cycles over and over. The Wheel of Fortune is there because of the attachment that's here. It's repeating a cycle over and over because I feel like that there is attachment here between two people that maybe use each other or need each other in some kind of way. And so because of those strings attached, or because that attachment that's there, it's like you keep going through the same cycle but not getting anywhere. Okay. Tell me about the Six of Wands and the Hermit. What does this mean? Yeah, there's that attachment there, the Eight of Cups. So this could be like you've tried to walk away but you just can't. That kind of feeling. It's like wanting someone else to have like compassion or grace for you in the situation. But it's like two people that don't feel seen in a relationship. Tell me about the Knight of Cups in the reverse with the Magician in reverse. The Queen of Swords in the reverse. That's cutting someone out, cutting someone off. This is someone that feels like they were manipulated into believing something that wasn't, which is what I've already explained a million times. Why is the Lovers and the Three of Swords here? The Chariot. This feels like something that went bad very quickly. Okay, I'm going to go back through this as far as what you don't see coming. So, why is that Five of Swords in reverse with Justice in reverse? Which I don't like. This is, yeah. Here we go again. Here we go again. This is the energy of here we go again. That's what this is. Here we go again. This feels like repeating a cycle here with somebody. Why is the Queen of Swords in reverse? That's that Libra. You have Cancer here too with the Chariot. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. That's change. That's it, wanting some kind of change to take place. Okay, so what am I seeing here? What's coming towards you? This is a situation that that obviously you're very well aware of. I feel like this has to do with you and someone in a relationship. I feel like there's been some pain or heart, but let's see what that is. What is the Three of Swords anyway? There's been some kind of separation here. Eight of Pentacles. This is wanting to work out a situation with someone. Wanting to get to a calmer place. This is like I'm better with you than without you kind of feeling to it. But nothing's really resolved here either. And I think that's why you keep repeating something. someone's just kind of stressed because of the longing and attachment that's here and like needing the other person. Really, it comes more from a need than a want, which is a bad thing in a relationship. But I don't know what the circumstances are or what the attachment here is between the two of you either. So, but I feel like you're fixing to like go in towards repeating another cycle with someone. There's someone here that has an inability to be able to detach or walk away. And they're coming in wanting to be successful. They want to communicate here, but it's whatever's being communicated isn't what the other person is wanting to hear, or it's someone that's coming in more in a way of I want you to understand or feel me, and the other person's not in that energy. This other person here is feeling more like I need some time. You know what I mean? This is someone here that is very hurt because this is someone that feels like they were fooled into something, into believing someone was self-sufficient or someone was reliable or someone was responsible, and they weren't. So this feels like a you can show me over time kind of energy. So there is this choice here because of there's some romanticizing going on here too, right? And I feel like this is a relationship that has more, again, I want to say, to do with what each of you can give to the other person and not as much about coming from a loving, caring place, because that might have been what this was based off of to begin with, if that makes sense. But you have the Three of Swords and the Lovers, so it's like making a choice to try to overcome or wanting to work on this to get to a better place in this relationship because of the love, the romance, whatever this is. But nothing's fully resolved here. This is an illusion of things. Remember, this is what's coming towards you, so this is like a heads up. There's no real resolution here. It's kind of more because you have this longing, like you just want things to be better, or you just don't want to be by yourself, or you just want to be connected to this person, or you miss this person, or whatever the case, you know. It's like you kind of will say or whatever you need to say or do in the situation just to kind of get back to that place, or someone's doing that with you, but they're not. There's no real resolution here. Justice is still in reverse. This is an illusion that you're receiving. The Six of Swords is going back to the Five of Swords, which is going back to a conflict. So it's like a temporary resolution, but these issues will come back again. This feels like the romantic cycle of codependency. It's like, I wouldn't say codependency. It's more like I'm going to tell you what you want to hear in order to make things better for the moment, but we don't ever really get anything resolved, and then it comes back up later. That's what it is. What do you really need to know about this situation and this attachment that's here? What do you really need to know about this situation and this attachment that's here? The Page of Wands. The Three of Wands. There's some immaturity when it comes to what you expect from each other here. Or from the other person. Take it how it resonates. I feel like it could be for both of you, but it may just be for one or the other. So I'm not trying to like trigger anybody. Just take it how it resonates. You know who you are, where you are, right? But this is showing me that there is some immaturity about what you expect from the other person that may not be realistic, and it's because it was created off of false pretenses, basically. This feels like something that happened very quickly, so you never really got to really know someone for who they were. You just got to know like the surface of what you saw, which again, if you only know someone for a short period of time, it takes a long time for their true colors or someone's true character to kind of show itself or come out, because again, we always want to put our best foot forward first. So if you get into something very quickly, that can be like you're not who I thought you were. You know, well, no, I can't always be that best version of myself all the time. You know, life is life. So this is like having an immature way of seeing like the expectations that you have with someone else. and the Ten of Wands in reverse. This is kind of saying that you're needing to release all the responsibilities that you put on each other, and more so focus on yourselves and your own self-sufficiency. And I'm not saying that you're guilty, that the person's guilty or whatever. It's just take it how it resonates. Like I said, this could be this other person that's expecting way more out of you than what you're capable of giving. But it's just saying, see all the wands that are here? There's just like a heavy, like there's some expectations here. And this is just saying, you know, let go of some of the expectations that you have here when it comes to the situation, and be more logical or practical about what you have to offer, or what you can actually bring to the table. I think you put too much weight on each other. That's what it feels like. It's like, feels like too much of a weight that you put on one another. Yeah, Ace of Cups in reverse. This is just having an immature way of seeing relationships. So, again, expectations is a part of that. So there's someone, and this could be both of you, but I want to say there's someone that feels like a relationship should be this, and this, and their expectations are just real crazy expectations. And really, love really is shown whenever those low moments come in, you know, the most, when it comes to the dynamic between two people. Okay. Why is that Three of Wands there? The Four of Swords. So reevaluate, basically, it's what it's saying. Reevaluate. If this is something that you want to continue in and really resolve some issues here, then this is saying you need to really think about this. You need to really reevaluate what you expect from this person, and they need to reevaluate what they really expect from you. Why is that Ten of Wands in the reverse? Especially if this is someone that expects you to carry all the weight in the relationship or take on all the responsibilities. You have the Five of Wands that's here. Of course, there has to be some sort of compromise that goes in here. This Five of Wands with that Ten of Wands it's the half, right? This is like the issue. This is what brings the most disagreements, is that Ten of Wands. Responsibilities, the weight of that each of you carry, like, and the Four of Pentacles. You need to have boundaries here set with this. You need to communicate. This is about communicating what you need when you feel like you have a lot going on. Not trying to defend that and say, oh, I have a lot going on, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's just saying, hey, you know, I have a whole lot that's happening here right now. I feel really stressed out about, you know, my attention, my focus is in a million different ways. I need to utilize that. This is sharing the burdens, not just keeping those to yourself too. So if this has been someone, or you are someone that's tried to keep all the weight of the world on your shoulders so that keep the other person happy. I mean, that's what you're creating in that relationship as a dynamic. You know, share that with the other person. That's what they're there for. That's the whole idea of a partnership. Okay. Let's get some cards for advice. I landed on the Queen of Wands. And the Six of Cups in reverse with the Page of Cups in the reverse. The Nine of Pentacles. So, I mean, I feel like you're dealing with someone here perhaps that has always had everything that they need and some. And maybe this is something that, like, they're seeing you as, I don't really want to go there, but this person's just not, like, they have a very obscured way of seeing what you should be doing for them. That's what this feels like. Or at least that's maybe how you feel. and it's creating a lot of emotional baggage in the relationship. This is someone I feel like that has there's nothing wrong with having high expectations, but there needs to be a balance there with that, you can create a lot of unnecessary emotional baggage. And this could be somebody that carries this with them from their past experiences. So they've been through this, that, and the other, and they're taking a stand, and they have these. I was there not that long ago in the same energy of unpractical expectations in a relationship, which went completely south, which that person had a lot to do with it because of the cheating and stuff that went on there. But I also recognized that my expectations were extremely high because of something else that I just came out of. Whereas I thought I was healed and ready for something, I don't think that I necessarily was, because my expectations were so unreasonable, to be honest with you. And I think that's what's here, and it's creating this emotional baggage between the two of you. So there just needs to be a balance here. Let's see if we can get some kind of advice, because I don't know that I'm giving the best version of advice when it comes to this. Because honestly, I feel like this is just a difficult situation. Okay. What advice do you have for pile 2 about this? So you're going to have this conversation, right? This is breaking the silence, if there is some, about the attachment that you have wanting to come back around. But I feel like at the end of this, nothing really gets fully resolved. It's all kind of more, again, romanticized. Saying what you want to say or saying what you need to say. At the end of it, it just feels like you're burned out in a way where you just kind of say whatever. So I would just be, careful of that. Resolving issues. Solving inner conflict with others. Healing past trauma. Pay attention. Look out for signs from the divine. Acknowledge the red flags. Acceptance. Accept past and current issues and current situations. Work through issues gracefully. And stress is here twice. It's really stressing you out. Cleanse and detox from unnecessary commitments. So there may be some confusion around that too. Like one person feels like that something's a priority or important, and the other person is, differs. They don't feel that way. This feels, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm just going to be honest with the energy I feel. This feels like a situation where two people felt in the beginning like they're like this perfect, like they fit perfectly together, or they're a perfect relationship in a way, or they agree with each other, they really align with one another, and it's like now they may start to, it feels like they don't at all. And maybe you're not anymore. Maybe you're going in different paths, or you're in different, people grow and change, and of course. But what advice do you have for pile 2 when it comes to the situation, please? Dark side of the moon, mystery. So you're in a place to where you're unsure. You don't know what to do, what to expect. You got the dark side of the moon here. You feel like things could get better, but you can't see it right now. Tell me about advice. Can I have some advice, please? Self-sufficiency. This really is like kind of saying to focus on, focus on what you need for yourself. And this other person focus on what they need for themselves, and then eventually the two of you can kind of come back together in a way, or come together in a way. The ultimate self-sufficiency is relying on God. So whatever it is that you believe in, right? It doesn't mean hiding in a cave and saying, I don't need people. Instead, it's saying, God is my source, and I am willing to receive all the help, love, and support that wants to come. So this feels more like being in a receptive energy instead of being in a needy energy. I'm not saying that could be you, that could be the other person, but this feels confrontational. This reading does. Give me a card, please, to leave the haul to with, a good one. Kindness, love in action, number 17. 17 is the star in tarot. So, let's see what this says. Number 17. That's healing. Healing a situation. Kindness, a beautiful quality that is love in action. Being considerate and generous. When in doubt, choose kindness. For your kindness heals hearts and nurtures people's souls. It's important to be kind to yourself in this period of your life. To heal your inner child, you must show yourself compassion and empathy. Choose to realize that we are all flawed and that it is absolutely okay to make mistakes. Offer yourself to the gentle hand that you so often and selflessly give to others. I am worthy of my own kindness, number 47. Okay. All right, let's get some initials and some charms to close. I'm going to try to use my new bowl to get some initials, which I didn't use in pile 1. I forgot about it. So y'all are the first. I dropped an E on the ground. Hopefully that wasn't for eternity. LLC is over here. I don't know what that means, if that means something to somebody, but we have V, which is always like victory. And work hard, dream big. It does feel like there's someone here that's like not really supportive in some way, or you may feel that way, you know? We have UOHQRNFBK. Oh, hold on. X, LLC, and E. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave y'all here. I know this reading, like, I don't feel like it really, like, I don't know. It just feels like you aren't on the same page. There's a lot. There really feels just like a lot of things here that need to be overcome in order for this relationship to really resolve and work. It's going to take some work. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave you there. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thanks for all your love and support and your kindness. Of course, I hope this helps. Good luck to you guys with this, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.